Morning. Yeah, definitely hugely relieved to be honest. In our meetings prior to this, the batting meetings, I also mentioned it quietly with Robin and Aiden that just obviously looking to get the first one under the belt just to hopefully break the shackles more mentally, more than anything. So yeah, didn't want to put too much pressure on myself last night or this trip, but yeah, stoked to get that just pretty much out of the way and hopefully I can just settle a few more, I would say nerves, but a few more things inside of me, and I can kind of just take a bit of momentum and try, obviously, play the way I want to play.
Thanks, Keenan. Stu?
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Ryan. Well played. On that, taking last night into consideration, you've had a few innings as we've had some starts. What was different for you last night that allowed you to kind of carry on once you'd gotten through 20?
Um, it was honestly, it was a good wicket. We knew the threat was with the new ball under the lights, it was going to swing, and with a bit of the harder seam, it was going to nip around a bit. So I guess the way that the group wants to play is always try to take the positive option. So I wasn't really worried about getting out. Where maybe prior to that, a few times I have been a bit anxious potentially about getting out. So yeah, last night obviously we needed a good start, chasing a nice total on a pretty nice wicket as well. Yeah, so it wasn't really any overthinking or anything like that. I just try to make sure that if I got my matchup, I was fully committed to the shot and pretty clear in the way I wanted to play. And like I said, the wicket was good, and I managed to catch a few out the middle.
Thanks, Stu. Morgan?
Morning. Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Ryan. Ryan, you mentioned just now breaking those shackles mentally. How important was last night's win? We know that this is obviously not the full strength Proteas team that you guys have got there. Reza as well looked absolutely brilliant at one stage, and even Matthew and Aiden came in and looked good. Do you think it's just little mental things that the guys just need to get in tune with taking the team forward?
Yeah, I think obviously it's been a tough tour. The first part initially was, but as you mentioned, it might not be a full strength team, but there's some bloody good players on this tour as well. So I think each and everyone's just trying to find their own little niche and their own feet along the way, in different testing conditions. And just try to establish themselves, especially in this team where we sit right now, myself included, obviously Maddie as well, a few of the less T20I experienced guys, let's say. So yeah, I think the more we play, obviously, the more success I guess you can have mentally. It just eases you down a little bit, and you can slowly pick away and gain some confidence in what you're trying to do. So yeah, I think it's just about keep trying to play or keep playing, and finding those little cues that that can give you that 1-2% of boost every single time, and then hopefully after this next week or even included with the ODIs, players can walk away with just a little bit more surety of themselves, obviously in their role and the way they want to play.
Thanks, Morgan. Stu?
Thanks, Lucy. I just have a couple. Firstly, on Reza, Ryan, you've obviously gotten to know him as provincial teammates. It's been a difficult few months for you. You were at the World Cup too. Have you kind of noticed any change in him, or is it still kind of a relaxed guy that you know? And how has he managed to sort of stay that way and perform with you last night?
Yeah, it has. He's struggled a little bit now. He's the first to admit it, but he's not the first person to go through it, and he's definitely not going to be the last. But he's such a calm, quiet guy within the game, and as a teammate as well. But we always just try. I won't say hype each other up, but try to help each other. We chat good cricket anecdotes out there. We obviously try to guide each other in the right frame, but at the end of the day, what happened has happened this last week. It was a new opportunity for him, obviously, to try to find the middle. He hit those. I think he hit three through the covers and the third or something over, and he just said, "I'm desperate to find the middle." To me, desperate to find the middle, and then he obviously smoked a couple after that. So I just think it's just with Reza, like I say, knowing him quite well, it's just trying to give him that affirmation, and he is a bloody classy player, and on his day he can take anyone down. So he's never too far away from finding it. And when the wicket lines up, there's no better player to stand on that end and watch.
Just looking ahead quickly to the ODIs that start in the week, that start next week. What are the, I guess, the goals
great question because I honestly don't know when last I played a 50-over game. Yeah, it's also going to be a challenge for me, just trying to work out the way that I personally want to go about it, but also to try and mold it into the way Rob and Aiden and Temba would like the white ball team to kind of evolve into. Yeah, again, if you had to say general goals, as bad as we all want to get hundreds, but I think the opportunity just to play, and obviously if the wicket's good, to just try use that chance that hopefully I'll be get given. Yeah, it's tough to be quite specific on goals, but if the opportunity comes, and I'd like to obviously just get some runs under my belt and just fine tune the way I want to play, but obviously match it in with the way the team needs me to play. And if that's a different role to maybe what I'm used to, I think that's where I'd rather be judged, as long as I can try fulfill the role that the team requires, rather than my own individual needs or requirements, I suppose.
Thanks, Stu. We'll look to take the last question from Keenan.
Thanks again, Lucy. Ryan, with international cricket, do you think you've spoken extensively at the beginning about the mental work you've done with international cricket? Do you think that's where you've struggled initially? Is that, or is it just the jump from domestic or franchise cricket to the next level? Could you just maybe which one it is?
Oh, I wouldn't say I've struggled with it. It's just something that, when you play for South Africa, you want to do really well, really quickly. We have such a good pool, or talented pool of players underneath, that internally I think the dialogue and the pressure is way more extreme than external. So as a player, I know that if I have an opportunity now, I'm not going to have opportunities forever. And I think it's that own internal pressure that I need to get runs today. Obviously, just to prolong and to buy yourself a bit more time, especially when you're starting out. In 4 or 5 years, I've only played maybe not even 15 games for the side. So over that period of time, let's say not necessarily game-wise, that's kind of just been gnawing at me a little bit. So it's just about trying to, obviously, when that chance comes, try and use it, but not think of it very differently, like this is be all and end all. And I think that's obviously the difference between franchise cricket and international cricket, is that franchise cricket, that you got a game today, if it's okay, you don't get runs because you got another one tomorrow, and so on and so forth, where these ones come thick and fast, but they're only a few every handful of months. So it's just trying to make sure that opportunity comes, and just try internalize it, that it's not going to be the absolute end of the world, and put that extreme pressure internally on yourself, because obviously there is already slightly more external pressure too.